into two different directorates. Thank you.
Good day, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Chief Whip. Not sure where the Executive Mayor is, but good day to the Executive Mayor. The Executive Mayors that are here, Chief Whips, Speakers, all councillors, MMs that are here, and colleagues, all protocol observed. My name is Lusanda Geleba. I'm the District Director at the department. The presentation will consist of the proposed, the 2023-24 departmental targets, the integrated human settlements projects or recommendations, and then Lerato will do Annex A. The purpose of the presentation is to appraise the Executive Mayor of the targets that we've set for the 23-24 financial year. The department in Nkangala has been allocated 334 million that will consist of the HSDG for 293 million and then the ISUPG for 40 million. We'll build about 907 houses. We'll service 1,840 stands. We'll also have about 70 fleece beneficiaries, but this target is not for Nkangala alone. It's a provincial target, but unfortunately, we can't set this target because of the problems that we have with this program. So we always set it for the whole province. And for the community residential units, we have 40 units that we need to complete this financial year. The title deeds as well is a provincial target. It's not only for Nkangala. Unfortunately, we have budget constraints. That's why you only see this provincial target. In total, we're gonna yield about 2,747 housing opportunities. That includes both the servicing of sites and the construction of houses. We have about 3 integrated human settlements that we are currently busy with, that we yield a total of 20,379 sites. The first one is here in Steve Tshwete, it's called Rondebosch. The second one is also here, it's called Kwazamokohle Extension 9. And then the third one is at Emalahleni, it's called Ridcale. We'll talk about the first one, which is called Rondebosch. I just want to apologize, Speaker, that I didn't stick to the template that you gave us, because we'd have 100 slides if we could include the number of subcontractors that we have in all our projects. So I decided to only include the main contractor. In this case, we have Tiger Business Enterprise for the Rondebosch project. We are going to yield 6,721 sites. Currently, we have serviced 2,000 sites. In this financial year, we're planning to complete 300 sites. We also have a bulk sewer and bulk water projects there. Under sewer, we have commenced with the gravity sewer line that will connect phase 1 to the existing pump station. We're at 60% complete. We'll most probably finish in March 2024. We've also planned to construct about 226 units, but the allocation is 450, not 400. I'll correct that. We received a late appointment for another 50 units. We also have the Polar Iraq Integrated Human Settlement at Malahleni. The contractor is Begin Dogo. It's a joint venture. In this project, will yield about 5,000 sites, township establishment is complete. In this financial year, we'll complete about 200 sites. As well as last week, we finalized the tender evaluation for the contractor for the refurbishment of the pump station and the wastewater treatment works. In the outer areas, we'll build units. This one is an informal settlement. We also have RIDCALE, Integrated Human Settlements. The implementing agent is Bazani Developers, or GIC. We will yield 7,000 sites on this project. We've done township establishment. We're planning to service 800 sites this financial year. We'll most probably finish in February 2024. We have bulk projects as well for water and sewer. We will construct an elevated water tank for phase 1, link a water line that will link into the existing bulk, and then the sewer line as well. We are at procurement stage. There's also Emma Kazeni, but it's not really an integrated human settlement. It's areas, about 6 areas that have been serviced by Nkangala District Municipality as well as the local municipality. These areas will yield about 900 units. So far, we have not procured contractors. We will inform you in due course, but the plan in this financial year is to complete 300 units. We also have a running project at Tembisileani. It's called Zembelani Transport and Projects. They have completed about 39 units. They will continue with 61 this financial year. We have not changed the 79 because it's already on the business plan. My colleague will talk on this slide. I will leave it. I just want to emphasize on what we'll do for the servicing of sites this financial year, but it's basically on the first slide that I spoke to. In Pola, Iraq, we will, as I said, we are done with site establishment. We will service 200 sites at RIDCALE, 800 sites, and then at Rondebosch 300. Those are all the allocated budgets for the projects. And then Empumelelweni cluster, which is done by Bazani or GIC, we will complete 540 units this financial year under the upgrading of informal settlements program. Bulk infrastructure, I've spoken on all these. I'm looking at the time. And then under the top structure construction, we are currently having a project here at Steve Tshwete at Bazamokuhle, extension 1. It was originally at extension 8. Unfortunately, the sites were saturated as they were very close to the dam, so we moved this project to extension 1. And now we are short of sites again in extension 1, so we've moved this project to extension 9. We will complete 47 units. Crane fly trading has been completed. All the allocation, the 100 units has been completed. There are 9 new contractors here at Steve Tshwete, at Rondebosch. They have not yet started because of the issues there. It's 450, not 400 once again. And then at Emalahleni, we appointed TSSN carriers for 1,100 units. In this financial year, he is going to complete 110 units. At Tubelihle, we had a project for 495 units. Unfortunately, some of the sites had to be relocated to Tubelihle, because of they were under the ESCOM servitude. In this financial year, we will complete about 42 units. And then at Victor Kanye, we have about 301 units that were allocated to Msutu, Delu, and Rospa Trading 49. In this financial year, we will complete all these projects. Only 61 units are left. At Emakazeni, we have a project in Sakelwe at Dalstrom, as well as Madala. It's under KJM Enterprise for 240 units. Only 35 units are left. We are hoping that we will complete these units this financial year. At Emakazeni, I spoke on this one. We have a new project. Remember the 900 that has been allocated to the municipality, but in this financial year, we'll only complete 300 units. And then at Tembisile, there's a new allocation for 100 units. Here at Steve Chwete, under community residential units, we've got a project called Riabota at Mhluzi. It's in progress. Unfortunately, the contractor has been stopped by the NHBRC, so he's not on site currently until he sorts out the enrollment issues. We're planning to complete 40 units. We also have social and economic amenities. At Tembisilehani, we have a project under Rospa Trading 2028 for a community hall and a childcare center in Tembaleto. Unfortunately, this contractor has surrendered this project because of the business forums, but we'll appoint somebody soon who's going to take over the project. And then here at Steve Chwete, we've got 2 childcare centers and 2 community halls. One is under Reike Metsi and the other one is under Ntlemo Projects. One is at Sikululiwe and the other is at Kalamnandi. These projects are going very well. They'll be completed around September 2023. At Emalahleni, we have a new community hall and a childcare center at Kwakuka. We are at design, we finished the design stage, and then we will soon procure a contractor who's going to take over this project. Lerato will take over from here. Thank you.
All protocol observed. As my colleague has already introduced me, I am Lerato Golele from the Department of Human Settlement, responsible for the town planning processes of the department for the Nkangala region. So in terms, I'll be just updating you on the formalization and township establishment processes that have been completed or that we are in the progress, and what we are planning for in the 2023-24 business plan. So the new projects that are coming in the new financial year, we have Emakazeni, where we will be doing a upgrading of informal settlement project for 560 stands at portion 88 to 89 Dorenkop. At a budget of 1.7 million, and we have appointed Indaba Consulting. So in terms of targeted employment, this one, because we just employ one person, so it won't have that information. And then for Tembisile local municipality, we are doing Mpumelelo settlement, where we are doing 11,126 stands. Also, it's a formalization project or USP project, and the budget is 24 million, and we have appointed Mashoric development planners. Then we have 3 new integrated human settlement projects in Steve Chwete local municipality. They are an extension of what we are currently doing on the ground in terms of integrated human settlement projects in the municipality, and also responding to those issues of looking at also as providing service stands. So we have Newtown Extension 3, that will have a budget of 4.4 million. The 4.4 million is just the township establishment process, and we have appointed Isibugo development planners. And then you have portion 6 of Rockdale that will yield 1,675 stands, and we have a budget of 5.2 million, and it's done by still Isibugo. And we have an extension of the current Rondebosch that we are doing. We are now going to be extending it to portion 4, and that will yield 2,643 at a budget of 8.3 million. I will now go to the annexures in terms of progress to date of the township establishments that we have been doing since 2021. Obviously there are blockages or challenges which I will highlight more so we can get assistance from council. In Emalahleni we have Hlalani Kahle. That project is on hold because when we try to open township registers, we find that the parent farm Hlalani Kahle is not registered with the Surveyor General Office. So we cannot just register the portions that we are working on. We now need to register the whole township in order for us to be able to register the portions that we work on. Then you have Kwakuka Extension 16. This one, Chairperson, we have problems in Emalahleni where we appoint a service provider. They go on the ground. When residents see service providers on the ground, they start encroaching. So the layout plans, they get amended over and over again. So that poses problems to our processes because we never get to close off projects properly. So Kwakuka Extension 16 is one of those where a SPLUMA was issued, but because of encroachments, we had to revise that and accommodate those encroachments. Then we have Kwakuka Extension 17, it's the same as Kwakuka Extension 16. Then you have Siyabonga Pola, where we have submitted a general plan in December and we are waiting for approval. Then we have Mpumelelweni Extension 11 and 12. We had previously packed stands, as I'm saying in Emalahleni. After you pack the stands, sometimes the residents will remove the stands if the municipality is not protecting those pegs. So that is what happened in Mpumelelweni Extension 11 and 12. So unfortunately, this is one of our, if I can say, full-fledged expenditure, because now we have to go back and repack the stands because residents decided to take out those pegs. And then we have Mpumelelweni Extension 7, where we are also managing encroachments, and we had to amend the layout plan, which we did, and we then received an amended general plan in December 2022. If you can go back to the previous slides, yes, and then Mpumelelweni Extension 9, same as we have a challenge here with some stands, about 1,700 stands are sitting on a wetland, and those people have built permanent structures. So the municipality must then decide what are we going to do with those 1,700 people. Then you have Hlalani Kahle Extension 2, where we have appointed a land surveyor to pack stands, and we have Maligana, Srokodi, and Makofano, where we still need to appoint to purchase the land because the informal settlement is under privately owned land. Next slide. Then we have Chairperson identified vacant stands that are owned by the municipality for relocations, and we have identified Mpumelelweni Extension 13, 14, and Kwakuka Extension 2 F12. So we have done draft layout plans, and when we finalized and consulted with councillors on these, we then had land invasions on Extension 13 and 14. So our efforts of trying to address land invasion, it went down the drain with this one. So we are now have to upgrade the informal settlement as per the invasions. Then the only one that is not yet invaded is 12 Kwakuka, but then the problem, it only has 72 stands. Next slide, please. Then we have upgrading projects in Tembisile, where we have Muloto South, Mandela, Paula, and Santiti AA. All of those are approved by Nkangala District. They've been approved, and we've done general plans, and we are in a process of opening township registers, but we cannot open township registers if the land is still under the Department of Rural Development. Next slide. Then we also have Sakile, Miliva, Chris Hani, and Kudereda C. I'm being told that the district has approved these applications, so we will be pegging stands in by next month. And it continues to Dopabantu, Verina D, and the Empumelelwane, the new project. So all of those, we are still, we need to peg the stands we are finalizing the Spluma application as we are speaking. Then, Chairperson, before we upgrade this informal settlement, in terms of our policy, we are mandated to do what we call upgrading plans. And Emalahleni, we have identified 11 more informal settlements which need to be upgraded. We have done upgrading plans for them. And if a settlement is categorized category A, it means that it's a perfect informal settlement and it does not have any challenges in terms of land ownership, environmental sensitivity, or geotech, and services can be installed. So the ones that I have categorized A are the ones that are perfect, and we will be upgrading those immediately. And the other ones, B1 and B2, will follow. And then C, it means the relocation. So the three portions that we said we identified as vacant stands for relocation, we were accommodating these three informal settlements that are categorized as C, but unfortunately they were invaded. Next slide. Then in terms of integrated human settlement project, our Greenfield project, as Ms. Geleba did say, we have Iraq, Ritgale, and Rondebosch, which are at an advanced stage. Those ones we just need to proclaim, because as she's already mentioned that they are ready to service the stands and build top structures. Same applies to Newtown. Next slide. And we have Baltfontein in Verena. That one also is ready for implementation, but we have issue of state land release. And Kwamhlanga and Klipspruit, also those two, we also have issues of state land release. Then we have Vegral, where we are still waiting consent from the Department of Rural Development to give us the go-ahead in terms of development for portion 1 and 13. And we have Siabusa, which have submitted Spluma application to the district. We are waiting for approval, and Falchfontein in Dr. JS, where we are still compiling the Spluma application. Okay, I've done the slide. And then, Chairperson, as you may know, that Human Settlement has, through the Office of the Minister, identified areas in Mpumalanga that are priority human settlement areas. And in Nkangala, we have Tembisile, Dr. J.S. Muroka, Steve Chwete, and Emalahleni as priority human settlement areas or municipalities. So the minister told us that we need to do development plans for those priority development areas, and to address issues of housing that will also incorporate economic development and any other activity that can support a human settlement sector. So so in terms of the development plans that we have done, we have done all the development plans for Siabuso, Kwamhlanga, Paula, and Ochis, and we finalized them in February 2023. Now in March, we were doing consultations with Abunda Bezita in Dr. J.S. Moroka and in Tembisile before those plans can be adopted by council by end of this month or May. And the project will then close in June 2023. And from there, those projects that emerge from these plans, they will be prioritized in terms of our business plan for the next financial year. I just wanted to highlight quickly, as part of my closing, the challenges that we continue to face as a sector is, as I've mentioned, the issue of the state land release. It delays the implementation of most of our projects, particularly in Tembisile and Dr. JS and Victor Kanye local municipality. So we need the other sister department, rural development, to work closely with us and the municipality in this regard. And also the issue of land claims, where you find that there are tenants in terms of the Land Tenant Act that reside on the pieces of land that we envisage to develop. Issues of land invasions are still a major issue, and particularly in Emalahleni, and the issue of bulk infrastructure, where municipalities do not have funds to co-fund the bulk infrastructure in our project. That's all. Thank you, Chair.
Forward for their presentation. I just want to remind colleagues to stick to the time that allocated to them. We noticed that their presentation are long, so we're going to start to put the timer now so that we can able to stick to the time. Thank you. Department of Education.
Thank you very much, Chair. Let me start by greeting the Executive Mayor's present here, Abunda Bezita, District Directors, and all protocol observers. Dr. Mtsweni, responsible for infrastructure planning in Nkangala District. Yeah, thank you, Chairperson. The presentation outline, it's planned projects for 2023-2024 financial year. The first project, it's Extension 24 Rockgate Primary School, which is in Extension 24, and project name is New School. Project scope: provision of bulk services which is fencing, water, sanitation, electrical installation, construction of 24 classrooms, 2 grade R centers, administration block, library, computer center, kitchen, ramps and rails, 3 sports grounds and car park. And the project process is planning and design. And the project budget, it's 69,262,413. And the budget will be in this fashion. In 2023-2024, we're going to spend 3.8 million. Then 2024-2025, it's 40.8 million. And 2025-2026, 24.5 million. And then the second project is relocation of Mokibe Primary School from Bonginsimbi Secondary School to plot 91 in Siyangoba. Location is Siyangoba, and it's a new school. It's relocation of 8 mobile classrooms and 22 mobile toilets, provision of fence, 10 mobile classrooms, sewer, septic tank, borehole, and electrical works. And project process, it's planning and design, and project budget is 5 million, which is a donation from Africa, South Africa. Then we've got another project, the School for the Deaf, which is in Emalahleni, and it's a new school. It's a construction of a new school. The project is on hold due to site issues, and the project budget to be announced. We've got Siyangoba Primary School, and in Siyangoba, it's a new school. In fact, we're supposed to say new schools. We are planning to build 2 new schools in Siyangoba, which is a primary school and a secondary school. And we are going to provide 32 mobile classrooms, 4 toilet blocks, and 2 admin blocks. Project progress is planning and design, and the project budget is to be announced. We've got Kluwa Secondary School, a location in Kluwa Malahleni. It's also a new school. Scope construction of 12 classrooms, and project progress, planning and design, and project budget, it's 15 million, which is a donation from Trans Alloys Mining Company. I'm no longer going to talk about extension 24 Redale because I spoke about that one. We now move to Mpepete Primary School, and objective of the project is replacement, is Chief Chuete, Municipality, and for that project, the allocation is 33,509,000, but we're still waiting for the allocation of the budget. But the planned budget is 33,509,000. Then we've got in Pepet, we are going to demolish 17 asbestos structures, construction of 14 classrooms, grade R center, a kitchen, library, computer center, 12 toilets, car park, 3 sports grounds, and we've got Tidimalo, which is a new school, a provision of a permanent and brick mortar structures, currently operating in mobile spaces. Phase 1, we're going to provide a fence, a guardhouse, construction of 18 classrooms, and 2 grade R centers. It is in Tembisile, and the budget for that, it's 56,150,000. We've got Vezikono Senior Phase, which is a secondary school, which is in Tembisile, and phase is a provision of brick and mortar structures, And the school currently is operating on mobile classes. And the budget for that is 36,641,000. We've got new Emalahleni Primary School, which is in Emalahleni, and we are going to provide fencing, water, sanitation, electrical installation, construction of 28 classrooms, 2 grade art centers, admin block, library, computer center, kitchen, ramps and rails, 3 sports grounds, and car park. And the total budget for that is 44.5 million. And we've got new Muloto Primary, which is also a new school in Tembisile, at a value of 4.3 million. And we're going to construct 12 classrooms, grade art center, admin block, library, computer center, 36 toilets, fence, electricity, water, school hall, kitchen, and 3 sports ground. Another one is the new Mpumelelweni Primary School, which is a new school in Sheldon, Tembisile Hani, and the budget for that is 40.3 million. And what we're going to do is to construct a great art center, 24 classrooms, admin block, library, computer center, 36 toilets, fence, electricity, water, school hall, kitchen, and 3 sports grounds. The other one is new Doornkop Secondary, which is in Stiftuete, which is also a new school, at 68,700,000. Then we're going to provide basic services, including 36 toilets, fence, electricity, water, and then construction of 28 classrooms and admin block, and then construction of library, computer center, school hall, kitchen, 3 sports grounds, and car park. Then the other one is the Tengisiwe Secondary School, where we're going to demolish 2 times 4 classroom blocks, science laboratory, provision of fence, construction of the guardhouse. And the project is substitution of unsafe structures. It is in Dr. Jace Moroka, and the budget is 9.7. A Budweni Primary, which is in Emakazeni, and the project is substitution of unsafe structures at 8.5 million. Then we are going to do the following: demolition of unsafe structures, a single-story building, and construction of 4 classrooms, renovation of 25 classrooms, admin block, library, and 17 toilets. Then the other phase is provision of fencing and demolition of 12 unsafe classrooms, construction of 12 new classrooms, great art center, and a kitchen and computer center and library. Then we've got Mukebe Secondary School, which is in Dr. J.S. Moroka, and the project is substitution of unsafe structures, and the budget is 16.8 million. And what we're going to do is to demolish 2 times dilapidated classrooms and construction of 2 blocks of classrooms, admin block, school hall, kitchen, library, media center, laboratory, guardhouse, car park, ramps and rails, and sports field. Then we've got Chitelani Primary School project, substitution of unsafe structures, Tembisile Hani, and the budget is 2.5 million. What we're going to do is to do planning and design for phases and construction phases, construction of additional 12 water-borne toilets, 4 times 10,000 elevated water tanks, 2 provision of fence, demolition of 8 asbestos classrooms, construction of great art center and new classrooms. We've got Manyano Primary, a project, additional facilities, Steve Chuete, and the budget it's 15.5 million. What we are going to do is to provide fence, construction of 6 new classrooms, kitchen, grade R center, guardhouse, and 3 sports ground. Makerana Primary, which is in Tembisile, and the project is additional facilities. The budget for that is 4.9 million. And what we are going to do is to provide fence, demolition of 4 single brick structures, construction of 4 classrooms and grade R center, and construction of an admin block, kitchen, and computer center. Madimo Primary, which is in Dr. J.S. Moroka, and project is substitution of unsafe structure. What we are going to do is to demolish 10 unsafe classrooms and construct 12 classrooms, 1 grade R center, and an admin block, construction of kitchen, computer center, car park, 3 sports ground. Two were combined. The demolition of existing unsafe asbestos classrooms, wooden classrooms, 1 tin shack classroom, construction of 15 classrooms and 1 grade R center, and kitchen, computer center, and 3 sports grounds. Substitution of unsafe structure, and is Nimalahleni, and the budget is 11.9 million. Clap sprayed combined, which is in Nimalahleni, Emakazeni, construct demolition of asbestos buildings and construction of 8 classrooms, grade R center, and library, kitchen, car park, and 1 sports ground. And the budget is 9.7. And then Motia Miatanalo, substitution of unsafe structures, renovation of 32 existing waterborne toilets, fencing, 3 drinking fountains. It is in Steve Chuete, and substitution of unsafe structures, 4.8 million. As when lay to construction of 11 ablution, 4 times 10,000 elevated water tanks, and construction of library kitchen. It is in Dr. J.S. Moroka, and 2.9 million. The Spring Valley Primary upgrades and additions, Emalahleni. What we're going to do is to electrify the school, and the budget is 2 million. Kulufunde Primary in Tembisile Hani, demolition of 14 VIP toilets and construction of 25, then add 2.5. Nelson Nguveni School, construction of additional 20 toilets and 8 grade, inclusive of 8 grade R's toilets, and it is in Emalahleni, a budget of 2 million. Chairperson, I raise my case.
Thank you very much. We'll call for Department of Social Development.
Thank you very much. Let me take this opportunity to extend my greetings to the Executive Mayor Nkangala and all executive mayors that are here. Chairperson, the Speaker, the Chief Whip, councillors in the House, sister department representatives, and all protocol observed. My template will be slightly different because all what I'm going to present is categories of what we have funded in a form of NPOs. And then I will only mention perhaps maybe capital project, because most of our capital projects are being adjudicated by Public Works and Road and Transport. Okay, let me start with this one. We got Mamitlake, construction of office accommodation, and which is almost allocated at DS Moroka. The amount budget is 28 million, and the estimated completion date is actually around December this financial year. And as I indicated earlier on, that Public Works is the one that is actually doing the adjudication, and they are the one that will actually get to talk on the target. And we also got Mbivane, construction of offices as well, is also allocated in DS Moroka. And the same amount of 28 million is been allocated. And on this one, we are just awaiting for the right to occupy of the piece of land because it's a tribal authority land. And adjudication is also going to be handled by Public Works. All our infrastructure capital project is being actually adjudicated by Public Works. And then we also have, lastly, Verena, which is also office accommodation, which is allocated at Tembisile, a local municipality.